Hi. There is an expression today, it's probably been around for the last 15, 20 years, called being outside the loop. Being outside the loop. We know what it means. It means we are not going to learn about what is going on within the loop. And what's within the loop? The discussion, what's going on in the world or in the environment of those people within it. What's that got to do with retirement? It has a lot to do with it. Now, as a retiree, a man who's been retired for 28 years, took voluntary redundancy at 59 and I'm now 70, the senior's moment, now 87, I can tell you that being outside the loop is something which often happens to people when they become retired. When they were working, they were within it. Everything to do with work, everything to do with their job, everything to do with the socialising of the people at that place of work, the few beers after work, the parties on the weekend maybe with workmates along, that's all behind us when we're retired. And we can feel that we are out of the loop. And this can become quite traumatic, actually. We can feel very lonely, especially if we haven't got a family close by. Maybe we're solo, maybe a wife or a husband has died, and we're feeling out of, not just out of the loop, but out of the way of life we've been used to. So what's the answer? Form a new loop. Get another rope. Form several loops. Go outside. Start meeting people. If you don't, you'll have probably seen the result of it. You see it in nursing homes all around the place. People sitting in wheelchairs and lying in bed, looking at television, and not even comprehending half the time what's going on in television. A completely passive lifestyle. Some people have called it God's waiting room. Now let's face it. You could retire at 55 and you might have another 30, 35 years ahead of you. And most of that's going to be in active life, providing that you make it so. Nobody's going to come along and say, we're now going to look after you, you're retired. Okay, you might get a government pension of some sort to help with the money. But if you've got all your debts out of the way, you've paid off your house, you've got a lifetime ahead of you. You have to make that lifetime now. No one else is going to do it for you. So how do you go about it? This is the question. You have to get out there and mix. Don't expect people to come to you. If you are on the internet, who isn't today, you can Google all manner of retiree groups, volunteer organisations, whatever comes to mind. Click on them, find something local, and then be very courageous. Telephone the telephone number and speak to someone. They're probably only too happy to have you call. Some of these organisations are crying out for members. And when you get there and you meet them, within a short time, you belong. You're no longer outside the loop. You might be on the committee. You might be organising the outings, the good times that are going to be ahead. I can recall my wife organising things for the Country Women's Association. She was a member for over 20 years. Loved it. Putting together the dinners, the outings and so forth. Helping out. This is what you need to do. Get inside a loop, even if you have to make that loop yourself. But there are many, many loops in the rope out there. It's an endless rope of opportunity. So many organisations you can join. Now, as I said, if you're retiring early, you'll have plenty of go in you to get into them. And even if you haven't retired early, you'll still have some go in you. Don't just go along and sit in front of a television set. Get out there and make a life for yourself. This could be the best years of your life.